Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, February the 3rd, 2023. Friday, February 3rd, 2023. I'm going to save the best for last. I'm going to give the worst for first. The worst for first. Chase and Blaze, and look, they've learned to spare us hearing them sing, right? They perform their single supposed to drop next week, and Brooklyn is trying to, I just love watching you on stage. You're a natural. And Chase is like, look, Brooklyn, the citizens or review board meets next month, March. And I plan on getting back on the force. This needs to be wrapped up before then. And she's like, or do you mean you need to be, because he goes, I need to be finished with this. Or do you mean you need to be finished with me? So he's like, look, no, we are no closer to getting your songs back. See, Chase doesn't know. Brooklyn is nothing but trouble. She can't make a good decision to save her life. She will sign that contract. And Chase, everything he did would have been for nothing. Trying to save her from sexual harassment, and she will make a deal that won't protect not one other woman. Matter of fact, she has to come out now and advocate for him. How could she explain that away to anybody? Anybody. I'm He's got the pen and paper ready for her to sign, and he's touching her leg, and she kind of moved her leg, and Chase and Blaze sees it, and he's rubbing her, he put his hand back there. And I thought, now, see, he wasn't supposed to, once the deal was done, not even really say nothing to Brooklyn. He's away from her, out of her, but look, he's already feeling, oh no. She can't come back to calling sexual harassment once she signs that contract, because it's a non-disclosure contract that she can't. Oh, see, Brooklyn, that whole storyline right there has me so disappointed in the writing. Because if they make Chase run over there and try to punch Link again, this close to being reinstated, Chase deserves never to be a cop again. Never a detective ever again. Because bottom line, he needs to look at what's really happening. Brooklyn is sitting right there. There's some legal papers right there. Link is trying to hand her a pen right there. Okay, so Chase needs to actually go over, pick up the contract and say, what's this? What is this? And read it. And then his eyes will be completely open to Brooklyn. But you know what? I don't want to be disappointed, everybody, in what I think is going to happen. So I'm pretty much, when they get to the Chase and Link and Brooklyn, I'm going to just fast forward it. Now I'm going to be looking as I'm fast forwarding, but I don't want to hear it, and I don't really want to watch it. Okay? I'm going to be fast forwarding to get to the next people, the next scene, and just shaking my head the whole time, because that's just a nightmare and a disaster that could even conceive. Oh, anyway, let me move on. Lord have mercy. We have Elizabeth comes completely clean with Finn. Completely. Tells him the entire truth. Oh, you know how I hurt your heart, broke your heart, told you I had an affair with Nicholas. I never slept with Nicholas. No. Remember I told you I was pregnant? I was never pregnant. No. And then she tells him why she did it, and then she got all caught up, and she's like, I believed I was protecting an unborn child, and then now I'm all caught up in it, and now it then became about protecting me and Nicholas. So she goes, I know what I have to do. But first, after she tells him everything, Finn is just looking at her like, unbelievable. And she looks at him, say something. Do you really want him to say something, Elizabeth? Do you really? Because what if he says something that hurts your little feelings? Because now you've come clean. Now I'm telling you the truth. But do you know that is it really the truth, Finn? Is it really? Because she's been lying to you for months, looking you dead in your face. How do you know right now that that's the truth? So then Elizabeth says, I know what I have to do. I now know what I have to do. I just wanted to come to you first and tell you the whole truth. And now I know what I have to do. So he's like, well, what do you have to do? I'm going to turn myself in. In her mind, she's thinking, okay, here comes the part where he says, Elizabeth, wait. Don't do nothing this drastic. Wait a minute. Let's think about it. Turning yourself in right now, I don't know, because Esme doesn't have her memory back. Elizabeth, just hold on. Let's think about your options. Because I'm going to turn myself in. Now she wants to make Finn a co-conspirator in the whole thing. That's what she wants to do. Elizabeth, I'm telling you, they try to make her look so innocent. And so, I just hate that I'll be away from my boys. Like waiting, like, no, wait, Elizabeth, wait. No, let's think about it. When Finn threw Peter August down the stairs, even though they were fighting, they were really fighting. He didn't just come throw him down the stairs, but he threw him down the stairs, right? And Elizabeth felt there was no pulse, right? Whose idea was it to hide Peter August's body in that ice freezer, that freezer? Whose idea was that, everybody? It was Elizabeth's. Finn wanted to alert everybody because it was an accident, really. His brother's about to die. Peter August is already a bad guy. Finn wanted to, no, Finn, no, you can't. You're needed to save your brother's life. You can't, and look, we're going to clean all this up. We're going to put the body on ice. Okay. That was Elizabeth's idea. So true to form, I think Finn is going to try to stop her from turning herself into the police, and all I'll be doing with that crapola is shaking my head like, okay, that was predictable. Please, come on now. She helped you hide your crime. You thought you killed Peter August. Okay. And now you're going to help her cover up the crime she did with Nicholas. Is that turnabout fair play? Is that it? So now we have a knock on Dex's door. And he opens it up. Josh, sorry to just show up over here. No, you ain't sorry. You're not sorry, Josselyn. You are a Gen Zer, okay? And Gen Zs live on their phone. They live on text messaging. Why didn't you text him? You already know if you guys get caught, Sonny could kill Dex or have Dex killed. But you're just showing up over there, Josselyn. Just showing up, right? And she has to tell what's got her so stressed out. And and then I even feel guilty. I had to miss Britt Westmore's memorial service because I had to, my new niece, had to be there for her. No, you didn't. Or no, you weren't. You were already done with that. Already done with that. You just didn't find the time to go, period. Last time I checked, you don't have any kind of nursing degree. You couldn't have been inside anyway. You had your one visit with your grandmother and your mother, and you left, Josselyn. So now they get close to the window and they're talking, and oh, Joss, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even want to hear that either. And they're just making out, kissing all at the window. And now we got the outside view of them kissing at the window, the outside view, which is probably the person that Sonny called and said, follow him. They're the ones probably looking at Dex and Joss right now, and they're probably taking pictures. And Dex made it oh too easy. Josselyn too. So I want to see the fire heat up with that. You had the nerve, Josselyn, to try to emotionally blackmail Cameron. You don't want, no, don't say nothing, because that could, Dex's life could be in danger. Well, what you do each and every time you go over to see him puts his life in danger. You don't care about that at all. Not one little bit. And then everybody, what did I predict on Monday? Actually, I predicted it last Friday. I said, okay, next week, if we get Austin and Ava bumping into each other 2 times within a week, they're going to put them together. Okay, bumped into him at the hospital, right? She bumped into him there, and then bumped into him right at Kelly's. Oops. This has been such a small town for over a year. We have bumped into each other like now we just bumping into each other. There we go. She buys him lunch. And she talks to him and talks a little bit about, taking care of herself and blah, blah, blah. And he talks about his cousin. Yeah, I can see you by the way you talk to my cousin. She goes, I know how to handle him. But look, she really don't know how to handle Mason, does she? Because when Ava left, Mason was outside of Kelly's and he's looking at her. And he even made a phone call. Yeah, the one that gave me a hard time in Austin's office. Yeah, I'm watching her. Is he gonna go to Windermere? Didn't I say that's a bad idea? Windermere is a dangerous place. There is no way I would live on Windermere by myself as a woman. No way. Oh, she had Nicholas booted out, made sure he was moved out of Windermere. But I'm sorry, everybody. I don't ever believe Ava has had any experience with the catacombs in Windermere. Oh, Nicholas does. Nicholas could be her roommate living up in those walls, because they have a whole nother area in there, right? And just terrorizing her, planning her murder. People have been held captive in the rooms off in the catacombs. Yeah. Ava thinks she got all that figured out. Okay, but I'm scared of what could happen to you, girl. And it's about to, right? About to be on. Now the good part. Cha-ching! Spencer did a 1-2 punch on his father, had his father pretty much doubled over, because he told him, and Laura was right there, like dumbfounded as to what's happening, right? Spencer says, I'm going after full custody of my sibling. And Nicholas is like, over my dead body, you are not, he's like, I'm not going to allow you to damage not one more child. And Laura's like, huh? And so Nicholas is like, I'm gonna fight you tooth and nail if you think you're gonna do that. And Spencer says, actually, Father, you're going to willingly sign over your parental rights to me. And Nicholas looks at him and he said, I will not. I will not. And so now Spencer systematically starts saying the words Nicholas said in the video and is looking at him like, yes, you are, as he's saying line for line. And Nicholas is looking at him like, oh my God, oh my God. He's seen the video. Oh my. And he goes, you. And Laura's like, what's happening here? And Spencer said, with what I know, you don't want that to get out. Let's see. You don't want, let's say, Commissioner Ashford to know what I know. You don't want, and he named somebody else, and for the life of me, I can't remember who else Spencer named, to know what I know. And I'm surprised he didn't say, and you don't want the mayor of Port Charles, and look right at his grandmama and say, to know what I know. So, and Laura's like, what wouldn't he want the commissioner to know? And she's thinking, oh my God, what's happening? Like, what have you, like in her mind, what have you done, Nicholas? Oh my God. And how dare you blackmail him in front of me, grandson, right? And so Spencer, Nicholas is like, you know, are you gonna cry? You gonna let your child bring you to your knees like that? What? So he tells him, you are no son. I thought he was he was grabbing Spencer, but he wasn't. He was just, you are no son of mine. It's so Spencer's like, and Nicholas goes storming out, and Laura looks at Spencer like, what have you done? So she goes after Nicholas, right? Now I'm thinking Spencer should be the one. I would say, grandson, you got to tell me what's happening, because Nicholas is grown. Obviously, this is something he's done, right? But Laura has already seen Nicholas spiraling down and down, and she could see Nicholas's whole interaction with Spencer was this man was completely beat, okey doke, and taken out by his own child, right? And Spencer, this young man can act. He is going to be the best Cassidy. He really is. And quite frankly, I would like for him to be a bad boy Cassidy. One ruling the world. See, Nicholas let the Cassidine Empire kind of dwindle away. I would like to see Spencer bring that back. I really, really would. I don't want him to be hooked all up with his Uncle Victor, with this whole world domination BS. None of that. But I would like to see Spencer. But he has no one to really mold him, you know, into being a formidable opponent for anybody. Because it ain't Victor. He couldn't. Victor would want to control him, not mold him to be anything. Now, if his great grandmother Elena was alive, ooh, she'd mold him. She'd mold him well, right? So anyway, Laura, she's Nicholas. And so she's stopping him. She goes, Nicholas, listen, you need to stop. You need to turn around and you need to go back into that chapel and talk to your son, Nicholas. He is at this precipice to where he's ready to step into this wrong path that he won't be able to come back from. You are the adult, Nicholas. Go back in there and talk to him. And Nicholas, all but tears coming down his face, right? So he hugs Laura. You have been the best mother I could ever have. And she's hugging him and she's like, oh, my son, oh. And I thought, Laura, do you think he's going to turn around and go back in there? No, he's saying goodbye to you, because she's telling him, if you walk out that door, it's a mistake. And I'm thinking, chick, he's saying goodbye to you and you don't understand that? You know, Lord. So after she goes, go in there and be the man I know you could be. He turns and walks right past her and out that door. And Lord turns around like, oh, wait, is what? Like, I can't believe he's walked right out the door. And I thought, girl, I knew he was going to do that. Right? So then Spencer comes down the hallway. Where's my father? Because he's thinking, look, I'm ready to go round two. I'm ready. He ain't heard enough. And I'm ready. And she's like, Spencer, I don't even know if she got to what have you done, or that'll be, I think, the next conversation. She's going to try to find out what is going on, right? Spencer's not going to tell her. He's keeping that close to the vest, you know. So now we have, soon as Nicholas walked out the door, want to know what I knew? I said, he's getting ready to go to Spoon Island. Because see, Ava has already gone there by herself. And what I don't understand is, why does that door on Spoon Island not have a peephole? Why is that? No peephole. You got to open the door to see, right? Why is there no Ring doorbell so you can look at your phone and say, oh, look, that's my stupid ex-husband out there. I'm not about to answer the door. I'm going to push the button. Yes, what do you want, Nicholas? You know, because I'm looking at him on my phone, looking at him through the Ring doorbell. Yes, what do you want? No, get your behind off of Spoon Island right now, because I'm not opening the door to you. Yep, there we go. So she opens the door and he's standing there. And I'm thinking, oh, oops. Is Ava going to have to shoot him? Because he's in loose cannon now. He feels he's lost everything now. He knows you double-crossed him. He knows that you intentionally gave Spencer that ammunition. He knows that. So it's going to actually be pretty good on Monday to see what's going to happen to Ava. I mean, my guess is Austin is going to save her. That's my guess. Because Austin is now, he heard Mason talking on the phone, and Austin's just looking at him like. So I think Austin might follow Mason. Mason's going to go to Spoon Island, but guess what? That launch is not supposed to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry over on that island. Why does it? Right? So I think next week we might actually have some action on General Hospital. I really do. Let's see. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty good, everybody. Let's go to Comment Corner. And please, if you haven't, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, hello there says, I had a good laugh when Esme shouted, oh my God, Dr. Collins, what happened to him? I know. And Linda says, you are a hoot. Love your comments. Thank you, Linda. And Cindy says, Josselyn made no effort to attend Britt's memorial. I know, right? If it weren't for Britt, it would have been Josselyn's memorial. Exactly. The chapel would have been the perfect place to support both Willow and Britt. But no, Josselyn was thinking, after I seen my niece, I got to figure out, I got to go and try to get a booty call, because that's what's going to happen over there. That's exactly what's going to happen. And Deborah says, I don't care how big Willow's baby is. She is a beautiful baby, looks healthy. That's why Willow waited for her chemo treatments. So glad to see one of her dreams come true. Faith says, Nicholas is officially turned into his father. He kept a pregnant woman locked up against her will. His father kept Laura, and his son wants nothing to do with him. Well, let's hope Trina doesn't end up leaving town like her Aunt Gia. I don't remember Gia. And that Spencer may actually break the Cassadine curse and turn into may actually break the Cassadine curse of turning into their father. Now, Spencer's already a better version of Nicholas. Even though Spencer's being a little devious, Spencer's got a backbone. GH has a reputation, a repetitive, it is hilarious. It's so repetitive, it's hilarious. Anita says, well, you are right, shaking my head. It's so sad because Nicholas was nothing like his father. He was raised by Helena. He wasn't raised by Helena nor his father. Yeah, he was actually. He was raised by Helena. And I guess whoever else was on Cassadine Island in Greece, because Nicholas did not show up to Port Charles until he was like 16 years old. And he saved Lulu. He gave her bone, his bone marrow for his little baby sister. How did this happen? He used to be a good man side. He was trying to be a better Cassadine. Eduardo says, think of Rudolph the Wanderer. Because you're talking about, I'm like, why can I never remember Terry's last name? Randolph. Terry Randolph, and trust me, next week I'm not going to remember either. Deborah says, Britt's photo was beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. Spencer really will miss her. I'm glad Trina was there to support Spencer. Portia will never marry Curtis, and her daughter will not want to talk to her. She's going crazy too. She will be going crazy too. Eduardo says, I have one question for Willow. How did Harmony's hand feel? And Hello There says, probably rough with stones in it, LOL. And then LaShawn said, Tia Delgado was on One Life to Live. Yeah, see, and I was on it. I was on and off about One Life to Live. Dashia says, if Nina will cause trouble for Willow and Michael's relationship, she will come between Willow and Michael. If Sonny told Nina about Carly and Drew, Nina would try to get Carly put in jail, and that would make Sonny angry, and then blah, blah, yada, yada. That would probably break Sonny and Nina up. Yeah, that's right. I think if it does come out and Carly would do very little time, if any. Diane is a great attorney, but Nina would do that. She's going to absolutely, if they make her find out, and that would be so ridiculous that she does find out something like that. Anna Rihanna says, can Nicholas and Elizabeth be done now? Elizabeth got mixed up in all of this because she wanted to. No one made her. Nothing is ever her fault. I know. Heather and Ryan ain't love grand. They're funny, Heather and Ryan, actually. And then we have Michael. Michael says, Bobby and Monica Quartermain share the same great grandchildren, Wiley and baby girl Quartermain. You are so right. Tracy Quartermain was a fake great grandmother to Bailey. Yeah. Mary May Ward was a great grandmother to Maya Ward. Her granddaughter's Faith. So I guess that was a great grandmother. Helena Cassadine was great grandmother to Spencer. Yes, you're right, Michael. Leslie Weber, great grandmother to Spencer. Cam, Charlotte, and Aiden. Felicia's great grandmother, Amelia, and Felicia's grandmother, Maya, who raised her after the death of her parents. This is a great grandmother to Maxie and Georgie. Great recap. Well, goodness gracious, that you know your history, Michael. You know your GH history. Wow, man. And then Sandy says, please stop the madness and end Liz and Nicholas's stupid story. Poor baby Spencer. He just wants his dad. A little love goes a long way. Ultimately, and that is the truth. Ultimately, Spencer's doing all of this, really craving the love of his father. He really, really is. And he would never, ever get it. Nicholas is just, he's incapable of that. So anyway, great comments, everybody, on Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I'll see you all back here on Monday. I think we're going to have a good week of General Hospital next week. We're going to be able to have a lot of conversation on Comment Corner. So I will see you all back then next week.